Morning everybody, my name is Yuri and we're gonna code some stuff today. Let me know if you can hear me and see me well. And let's start. И доброе утро всем, кто говорит по-русски, но сегодня я снова пробую говорить на английском. Hello everybody. It's summer, so it's not so many people watching now, I guess. More people having fun somewhere out. Is anybody there? I think my live chat is just being stuck for a while. Yeah, morning everybody. Okay, let's go. So what I'm gonna do today is some PJAX stuff. I'm gonna do transitions, smooth transitions between the pages. Whoa, hello to China as well. I'm gonna do some smooth page transitions and I'm gonna do it with the Highway.js. There are actually two most popular ways to do smooth page transitions. One is Highway.js and another one is Barber.js. Both are pretty similar. I already have one video on Barber 1. Now they have a second version of the Barber, updated, Barber v2. But today I'm gonna try to use Highway.js. It's not that different, but it's still different and I would like to try it. Yeah, it's since Saturday because tomorrow I have a full day workshop and I wouldn't be able to stream. And it's been a while since I've streamed, so I decided I should try it on Saturday anyway. Okay, let's start. I'm gonna do a smooth folder here on my desktop. Then I'm gonna run my template. You'll find the link for the template in the descriptions for the video or in the descriptions for the previous videos. So I'm gonna call it HWJS. No. I'm gonna install all the dependencies. Thank you guys for the luck. It's kind of hard to stream at summer because every Friday you have some interesting events to happen. The nights are so warm now. It's crazy time. Okay, well, we have the dependencies installed. Here's a website for the Highway.js. It's what it says. It's easy to use, flexible, and modern library to use Ajax navigation. So how somebody call it PJAX because it's page Ajax, because you could do smooth transitions. And the website in itself is actually an example of using this library. You see the domain is now at the root folder. If I go to somewhere else, the page is not actually reloading. We have a smooth transition between all the pages. So let's try it out. Dependencies are there. Let's run gulp. Smooth CSS. So now we should have something running on the localhost 8080. I'm just gonna style it a little bit. I don't need all this stuff. I just need some kind of navigation because I'm gonna be using two pages here. The home page, obviously, like index.html, and I don't know, about HTML as well. This is gonna be navigation, and then to make a smooth transitions, if you remember how to use Barber, you need to use a couple of wrapping divs. Same thing with Barber. You need to use how do they call it? The documentation is not here. Doesn't really matter because we're going to be using Highway tonight. So So yeah, to use it, let's see the get started guide. We obviously need to run it in our JavaScript. I'm gonna do that. Remove all the stuff. I will need to install it. So we're just doing the basic install things right now, not really coding. I just copy pasted an example from the Highway website. To run it, you just need to set some, like instantiate the Highway core class. And the most important thing, you need to add the proper HTML for it to work. We would also need a second page here, not just index HTML, but also about HTML, because I'm linking it over here. So I'll try to make things look good here. What is happening here, we have this wrapper, and inside of it we have this div, which is going to be exchanged with some other div when we click a link. So let's see how it works. I'm gonna call this view homepage, then I'm gonna copy this page to another one called about our HTML, and this one view is gonna be called about. I'm gonna put just h1 here with the name of it, h1 homepage. That's it. That's the only HTML we actually need for it to work. Yeah, and we have crazy big font size here by default, so I'm gonna change that as well. h1. Let's remove this background. Font size 100 pixels, and then the nav font size 20 pixels. Adding. Yeah, there we have it. Why I don't see the... Where's my nav? Why I don't see it? Oh, because I didn't put any text inside of it. Really. So this is gonna be home page. It's gonna be about page. Yeah, I'll be still alive. I'm still using it for the generic HTML coding. I tried to use Parcel for some of the projects, but it's actually kind of hard to change something in Parcel. It's good for basic starting project or simple projects, but when you need to create a module, when you need to use some static objects, it's getting harder and harder. So, and it's not really a complete web server in Parcel. It's kind of hard to serve some assets there. Topic today is PJAX transitions with a bit of a WebGL. So right now we are setting up Highway.js, a library to use smooth transitions between the pages, and then we're going to add some WebGL transition to it all. So far I would like to see smooth transitions between all the pages. So I changed about page. Now I need to change this one as well. Yes, now we have a basic kind of page. It's not really working yet properly, just reloads, but it works. So we change the URL, reloads. What I want to do is to change the URL without actually reloading the whole page. For that to happen, I will need to obviously run Highway.js. Now let's see if it works from... It does work. It doesn't remove, like you see, this crazy thing is happening right here. It's actually nice to see like the back stage of what is actually happening and why we need those wrapper divs, because we have this main data router wrapper, and then we have all those articles which are being added when we go from one URL to the other URL. So actually we need to remove the old ones on each transition. To do this, I need to create the first transition for the web page. Yeah, Buenos dias. I need to learn Spanish. Is it Spanish? Okay, so to connect transitions, I just need to set up transition, and then the default one, something. This is how they do it in the docs. But we need to create this object, and this object should be of type highway transition. Yeah, thank you. I really need to learn Spanish. I like it so much. Okay. So I need to create a separate JavaScript for the transition. Fade JavaScript. This part is actually kind of basic part from the docs of the Highway.js, but I'm gonna just write it down so you see that it's really kind of easy. So I need to create class fade. Let's do a simple fade transition from the start, which is gonna be extending highway transition object. And what we actually need to extend is just two methods inside of it. First is out, and second one is in. Well, it's kind of obvious what they will do. The first one will hide the previous page, and the second one will show the new page. And this is where we could put any GSAP animations or something like that. I will connect GSAP now, because it's the easiest way to use animation. I'm gonna import it. So now we have a timeline max object. It's not everything we need to do. Those methods, they are using the variables that we already have here, and they are for the out method, it's just from and done. And for the in method is from to and done. This is all Highway.js responsibility to get us all those variables, and let's just call what's that from actually is. Log from to done. That's what I'm always doing. I don't need to call done. Done is actually a callback we need to run at the end of the animation. So it's just the function. And this is out and this is in. Yeah, right. So let's call done in both. And let's see what it outputs actually. It's always nice to see how the library works behind the curtain. So now we're on the home page. I'll go to about page. And nothing works because I didn't actually export this fade transition. I just put these ellipses here, but we need to actually export it. Import fade from fade. I can put fade right here. So now I should have all those console logs in place. On about page, let's go to home page. No, not yet. Yeah, if you forget to export to Webpack, sometimes takes care of it. So there you go, the first mistake. What did I do wrong here? Actually exporting the fade transition, and it should be working good. Fade transitions core fade. Am I actually looking at the correct console log? Yes, I am. Oh yeah, right. Thank you. There was a typo and it was even highlighted, but I couldn't see it, obviously. Okay, let's see. Still doesn't work. Okay, let's see what it's actually exporting here. Does it even run the correct? Yeah, I'm trying to learn Spanish in JavaScript. Exactly. What the heck is happening? I think they have some ESLint error here and it just doesn't compile. Highway is not defined. Oh yeah, sure, I should export highway here. Because I'm streaming, I can't hear anything on my laptop, all the sounds are muted, so I don't hear ESLint errors. It somehow doesn't put not notifications inside of it. So, and I also have this shitty weird ESLint error. I should really disable this rule, but it doesn't allow me to use methods without using this. So for now, I'm gonna do a shitty thing. Maybe it's just better to disable ESLint inside of it. Because I thought of using something like this, but it's not really a good thing. For now, I'm gonna just disable ESLint and try to let it trust me. Yeah, so transition class is not a constructor. What do you mean? What do you even mean? Transition class is not a constructor. So I guess what I'm setting here is not right. Let's see the basic example. I was trying to write it down. They should be doing the same things somewhere here. Core transitions default fate. Should be right. Okay. Yes, I do think I have a mistake somewhere, but I'm not sure which one. I really should stop doing it live. Well, but you can have fun while I sweat trying to find a mistake. Iba comenta Rakas. Speaking Finnish now. Okay, so what did I do wrong here? Maybe it's not transitions. No, it's transitions. Just copy paste. Same shit. Okay, let's see what it actually outputs here. An empty object. All right, that makes sense. Let's see. Yeah, so I just forgot to export it. And actually someone in the chat already told me that. Yeah, exactly. Well, it was easy to debug. I hope that's gonna be the biggest mistake in this stream. So when we now go from one view to another without reloading page, we can see that we actually have access to those new DOM elements we have been putting into the page. It's actually in for the home page and then out and go to about. Okay, what we need to do here also, we need to remove the previous view. So we need to do something like from remove here. And that way we're gonna see the actual transition now. This is gonna be incorrectly. What we can do next, we can do a simple fade transition. To do this, I'm gonna just create, I can avoid creating a variable, I can just do timeline max. And then this is out. So this is gonna be 2. I'm gonna be animating from for half a second to opacity 0. And then at the end of the animation, I could just do, I don't really need to create anything. It's already function in place. So I could just run done at the end of the animation as a callback. And then in the in animation, like coming in, I can do the same thing. So those both two methods run consequently, one after another. First runs out, then we run done, and then comes in. And then in the in, we just remove the from element, the previous element, the old view, because we already faded out it, so we can easily remove it safely. And then we can animate coming in for the new page. And it's gonna be just, we need to from to here, because it needs to fade in from 0 to 1. So we're just animating opacity from 0 to 1 for half a second for the to element, not from. And then at the end, we just run done again. So it should be working right like that. I hope, at least. Yeah, it fades in, fades out. It's good. I still run done too early here. That's why the animation didn't finish correctly. Now it's gonna be just, yeah, now it's perfect. So it's the simplest, easiest way to do a PJAX transitions on your web page. It's actually kind of easy to set it up if you don't fuck it up with your stupid JavaScript mistakes, as I did. But it's kind of easy. This is the whole code you need for the fade transition, and this is the whole code you need to just run the Highway.js. But let's see how we could extend this animation to some simple letter animations and to add some WebGL to it. First, let's do per letter animations. There's this library Charming.js, which can help us to set it up. What it does, it actually splits everything to characters and then adds all those characters to the spans. So let's run it on the in transition right before we animate coming in. We can run Charming.js on a h1. So I can, as you remember, 2 is actually DOM element, so I can just do 2 query selector h1. This is going to be my h1 element. Then I could run Charming on this let h1, and obviously I need to instantiate Charming here and install it. So what I'm gonna try to do, I'm gonna extend this basic Highway smooth page transition into some more animations, and let's see how it works out, how it all connects with the Highway and between all those JavaScripts. It's just kind of experimentation a bit. It's like almost real life setting up animations on a landing page or something like that. So what I should see here right now is actually a split up animation, but I didn't save the file, so it obviously didn't work yet. Let's see now. Yeah, so what we see here now is a homepage split up to characters. All right, this is better. What I would like to do also to set our flow hidden here, and then I could just add an really easy animation here. In method, I could do a stagger animation, stagger from to. I need to find spans, which is going to be h1 query selector all span, just to check if it's working. Let's leave it as it was before. Just want to see if I do have an array there. Yeah, I do. It's not really an array, it's a node list, but I can convert this node list into the real JavaScript array with a spread. So now it's going to be not the node list, it should be a generic array. Here it is, 8 characters, all good. So what you can do in GSAP is you can just set an array here and use a stagger animation, stagger from 2, and then I have to set up another timing which is going to be responsible for the delay between the single element and the array. I mean, the delay between animation and single element. Yeah, so let's see. It works perfectly. What else we could do? We could just move them on the vertical axis, set 100 here, and then y0 here. It doesn't work, but the reason for that is because span elements by default are inline elements, and you can't really set transform things on the inline elements. And what GSAP is trying to do is trying to set transform translate CSS property on those inline elements. So to make it work, I need to make them inline blocks. Let's see. Yeah, it does work. So it's sort of award-winning website, the simple version. So let's try to add some WebGL here. In the past, I had one of my streams to replicate WebGL effect of the Anthony.d website. It looked like this. So it's a cool WebGL thing, and of course you could change the amount of those columns and all this stuff. But let's just try to see how we could incorporate this WebGL effect with the Highway.js. Let's see. I'll just find the code from this old stream. They had some images that time. I mean, we had some images that time. Let's copy paste them. It's just 4 JPEGs with the beautiful nature and girls. And we also had some JavaScript that time. Let's just copy paste it to some folder inside our project. I'm gonna just create canvas folder, then I'm gonna copy paste everything there. But you know, that time I used kind of shitty spaghetti kind of code in the stream. I was just writing everything in a single like thread, no classes, no constructors, no functions, it's just code. So we're gonna convert it really fast to the class and then try to connect the API from this WebGL effect to the Highway.js smooth transition. Let's see. First of all, I need to see whether it works at all. I obviously need to install all the missing parts, like the 3JS, that GUI, 3-orbit controls, and all the missing dependencies from that stream. It won't take long. I would also need to create a container div here on both of those pages. I could actually put this part into some kind of include because it's going to be the same on every page, and only this part will be changed. Of course, on a real website, this part is going to be the biggest one. Now it looks like just one H1, but usually it's the whole page over there, like all those screens and lots of HTML and images. So I did create a container. Now I need to import the JavaScript. So Webpack will run it. I'm gonna import canvas app. I would also need to disable ESLint there because the code is so shitty there, it would just never pass ESLint rules. This is how you work with the ESLint. You just disable it. Hi there. Yeah, I wonder, like, how many different countries people are from right now since I started streaming in English. I guess most of the people are still from Russian-speaking countries. But from what I see for the names of you guys in the chat, you are from all over the world. Okay, so I disabled ESLint. I need to check whether I have some errors on bundling. It's good now. So let's see if it works. It actually works out of the box, even the scroll part. So I'm gonna throw a bunch of CSS so it looks good. Just position fix it at index -1. Let's do absolute. Should be good now. Let's do h1 as a absolute. Oh, my fingers still remember how to write the CSS. Haven't done that in a while. Almost exceptionally JavaScript and JSL. And let's make it sans serif, because I think it's gonna look better. And size 3, something like that. It's too small. I just wanted to make it dependent on the screen size. All right, so it's big enough now. So if I click, it does work. It even makes a transition, but this transition doesn't make sense right now. It's not really connected. It's just because I have a click fallback here in my spaghetti code just to simulate the scroll into the next. It's just the body on click. So anywhere I click, it's gonna go to some kind of next slide. So let's convert it to the real class. I'm gonna do export default class, and I'm gonna call it Anthony as the name of the website and the name of the developer. And you should really check out the website. I hope they still have the same version. I guess so, yeah. They even used videos. So I replicated this kind of animation in some of the old streams. You can check them out in the first season. It's in Russian, but still. And I'm gonna call it Anthony. I'm gonna create a constructor here. What else I'm gonna do? I'm gonna need a request animation frame. I'm gonna just copy paste it from my usual 3JS starting script. It's just this. It's just stop, play, and render, which runs on the request animation frame. That's it. It's really simple. Nothing really special here. It's just the simplest code to run the request animation frame animation. So now I need to convert the whole animation to this class Anthony. Yeah, let's do it. So this animation can be broken down to some parts. First is dependencies, nothing to change here. Then we have this gallery thing. We're gonna change it a bit later. We have those global variables, which I will not need because I will be using the class and we'll be using this and the properties of the object. And then I have this init. This is the best candidate for the constructor because it's just initialization of the class. So I'm gonna throw this all over the place, convert it. I don't think it will take long, so just bear with me. It's like a couple of minutes until I convert everything to the class. Should be good, this part. And of course I have this hard-coded container here, but it just doesn't really matter. So the next thing, I need a resize function. I'm gonna cut it from here. Resize. I'm gonna run this resize. And that stream resize was also responsible for sizing the WebGL container, so it fills the whole screen. I'm gonna do Left that equals this, that, that, that. So there's nothing clever going on here right now. And I need to run this function right here. So this resize function will just set up a event listener for the resize event, and also will run resize event immediately because I needed to start the correct animation. And it was run in the previous example. Okay, so this part I can remove now. I mean this part in the old script. Where was it again? Yeah, this part. I will be just gradually removing the old parts. Then this part is just adding an object to the scene. Here is my constructor part. I'm gonna add some comment here so it's easier to grasp the beginning of it. I'm gonna add this add function and add. So I'm gonna create this material, which is shader material with some uniforms, with some shaders, and this, all good. So we almost converted everything to the new way of coding. This was the scroll part. I don't actually need it in my new version. We wouldn't scroll anything. There was also a click part, and that actually is the end of it. I can remove all the old code now. Right. And I'm gonna just eat the click event, this click. So it should be working on click at least. Click. And it's gonna add, I don't need this override parts anymore. So we still have this global gallery variable, should be working good. Let's use the context, it's a gallery link, it's a material, also that material. So it was just a basic animation to go to proceed to the next slide. Should be good now. Should be good. I can risk everything in my life and try to run it now. So now it shouldn't do anything if I just import it to my JavaScript, because I will need to import a from and let Anthony equals new a just to run it. And let's see what kind of JavaScript error we have here. Material is not defined. It should be an easy one. Yeah. I just missed this part somewhere. This material. And fingers crossed, we should see an image now. Not yet. Not yet. There's no JavaScript error here actually, but we don't see anything. I don't like it. I know the reason for it, because we didn't actually run the whole animation, the whole render loop. We just, in the end of everything setting up, I need to do this play. Now fingers crossed. And it's working actually, yeah. So if I click, I do go to the next animation. It doesn't work good yet, but we'll figure out in a minute how to make it right. So now we converted the whole animation into the class. It just took us, I don't know, like 8 minutes. I hope this is useful for you to see how you would convert the spaghetti code into something more useful and something you can use in some other parts of your JavaScript as well. So now we have this simple API for the JavaScript. The next part I would need, each time I would go to the next transition, I actually know which page I'm going to. So I would like to have each page to correspond to some exact kind of image. So each page is about some exact image. So to make this correspondence, to make this connection between pages and images, there are a bunch of ways. You could use data attributes in your DOM, but mostly people use a JavaScript object with all those configuration for the website, because there are lots of other things you would like to save in that kind of object, like the properties and configuration of the animations and all this stuff. So let's create this kind of object. In the previous stream, it was just gallery and just a bunch of images, but it doesn't work this way. So let's create config. It's going to be an array because I have a bunch of pages. It should be an array. Each item is going to be a JavaScript object, and it's gonna have a page name, and the page name is actually the thing we already have, like in the view page about, and then we're gonna have an image, and into the image we could put the texture itself. So let it be this for now, like 4 and 1. What are those images even? 4 and 1. 1 is a flower, 4 is a beautiful lady. So it's going to be a flower and a lady. It's perfect. It's perfect. I would maybe prefer 2 ladies, but the flower and the lady is good enough. Okay, so now we have this configuration. Now each time I would run a fade transition, my fade transition, which is not fade anymore, but still, each time I'm going to be running it, I need to run this WebGL animation. So this WebGL animation needs to be connected to this transition. It doesn't need to be inside of the global like JavaScript where instantiate the Highway core class. It needs to be inside here. So when I run this animation here, it should be the same. It will just run. But now I have an API for it, so I can do something. I can run some methods for the object Anthony from this fade class. So which methods I would like to run? I think I would just need the goTo method. I would need to add goTo. Let's call it a key. Page, and here I would need to just, let's do it like this so far. No, really page, and going to the page. Okay, and I'll just run it inside the in transition part. I can just run this Anthony go to where. So I have these 2 objects here. This 2 object, as we remember, is just a DOM object, and this DOM object is actually this article object, and it has the data attribute already, which is called about or home page, depending on the page. So I can just find which attribute we have here. Let's go to equals to get attribute. This is just a native DOM method, and data, and I just can do go to. So let's see if it works. We are on the about page. I'm going to the home page, and we see that home page going to the page. And then we have about going to the page. So now inside this WebGL class, I can just find which texture I should be animating to. For this to happen, I can use a native JavaScript method called find. So I can just do this config find, if I remember correctly, and then return or page equals page. Ideally, it should just return me one of the objects, like just find the object where the page equals the key I need and just return it. Let's see, JS find. There should be a find method. Maybe I just messed up the syntax. So JS object should be good. So what is wrong here? Bundling is all right. The error is somewhere in app.js. Oh, I called this config, but it's not actually this config, it's just config. I'm not sure it should be actually an object right here. It might be just imported from somewhere else, because some other parts of the website might use it in future, but still, for now, let's see if it works out this way. Yeah, it does find the correct object in my configuration. So now I can link this texture to the animation. To animate, I would actually need to create a new timeline. And then I can do, the whole animation is happening when I animate. Where is this whole animation? The click part, which I will remove soon, but I'm gonna put it closer here so I can reference to it. So what I'm actually animating, I'm animating material uniforms progress. So I'm gonna animate material uniforms progress. Let it take half a second, for example. I'm gonna animate it to value 1. One small thing I need to change as well. In that animation, I used the fract of the actual progress. And the fract of 1 equals 0. That's why we see this jumping back to the previous texture, because when it gets to the 1, it just jumps to 0. I just need to remove the fract part in shader. I'm sorry, but for this to understand, you would need to see that stream. Now it doesn't jump anywhere, it just animates from 0 to 1 to that texture. It's all good. So at the end of the animation, yeah, let's remove the click. Right now we would just animate progress from 0 to 1. Let's see. Click doesn't work anymore because I just removed it. If I go to the about page, something is wrong. That is not defined. All right, let's define it. No problem. So now it just does this animation, but it will only do it single time, because after this time the progress is still at 1. What I need to do, I need to reset the animation on complete. Need to create the function here. And inside this function, I'm gonna reset the progress to 0. Now the image should jump back to the previous one. Or some non-existent one, obviously. So what else I need to do at the end? I need to exchange the textures, because I already have this go to page object, and inside that object I already have an image, which is a texture. Let's call it a texture. It will make more sense. So I could just change the texture. So that material, uniforms, texture 2, if I remember right, value equals go to page texture. Should be good now. Let's see. So we're going to about page and something is still wrong. What is wrong? Incomplete. Just run. Yeah, we must have the flower and the girl. Yeah, we are doing the PJAX transition with a bit of a WebGL connected into it with the Highway JavaScript library from the Doc Studio. By the way, check their website. It's actually really cool with the wolf over there. So we are almost at the end right now. I just messed up something about my WebGL part. So it does animate one time, but not anymore. Oh yeah, the obvious mistake I did like hundreds of times already with the WebGL is that this is not actually the value of the progress, because there is a value and I'm just screwing up my progress, and that's why it doesn't work. Yeah, let me speak from my heart. I'm trying my best, mate. Trying my best. There's only one way to learn to speak English. It's just trying to do this. Okay, let's see. So now it jumps back to the previous texture. Something is not right. Maybe I should set up the texture 1 in the end, because the texture 2 is the texture to which we are going to animate. Yeah, right. Let's see. Go to about page. I guess I need to change not only the starting texture, but also the end texture. We have two textures, the one starting and the end one. Yeah, exactly, the value. So I'm trying to figure out like what's the easiest way to go around this here right now. Just a bit screwed my logic in my brain. It's not really a hard task, but I'm just trying to find the best way to do this. Go around this. So I need to set the starting texture, which is already set when I run the page, and then I should set the animation, then the texture which I will animate to. So at the end I will need to change texture 1 to the go to page, but at the start of the animation I would need to set the texture which I'm gonna animate to. This is gonna be texture 1 set here, and then yeah, texture 2 is the texture I will animate to, and texture 1 is the initial kind of texture which I'm gonna see when the progress is 0. So what I need to do at the start of the animation, I need to set texture 2 to animate to some texture, and this is gonna be go to page texture, and then at the end I need to switch the places for the two textures. Should be right now. There's only one line of code to be missing, and I spent like 2 minutes thinking about it. Okay, so it's about page. Let's go to the home page. We see the girl. Let's go to the about page. We see the flower again. Just works. So it's really easy to set up and connect all those parts. We could also do the time here, and we could use this time right here to connect them easier, even easier than that. And we could use it. So this animation runs like half a second. We could also use function done and then run it somewhere in our WebGL animation if the WebGL animation takes a long time to do. From this place, it's a lot of ways to connect those, but I just wanted to show you the easiest way to like incorporate the WebGL animation with the smooth pace transitions, and everything just works out of the box. So what next we could do, we could just add a bunch of other pages, just try to about and some contacts pages, just to see if it works correctly. So here is the contact page, contact. Yeah, I needed to do and include there. So now we have 3 pages, but now I missed them in my configuration. So I need to add another page in the configuration part. It's gonna be 2 JPEG. So let's see if it works correctly with the 3 pages. Yeah, that was a pig. There you see a girl. Yeah, so this way you could do a more complicated stuff with the Highway.js and with the WebGL, and I guess that's what I wanted to show you today. How you could make a WebGL transition with a smooth pace transition. You could see that the URL is actually changing, and that's it. I also converted the old animation into the object-oriented type of thing, which is much easier to use in your JavaScript. You could just export it all over the place and just run the needed methods. I don't need the click method anymore. I will put a demo online. The code is not actually complicated. You could find it on the YouTube screen, so you could find it in the description. The starting template, which I was using, is linked in every single video in the descriptions of all the software I'm using. And well, that's it for today. I'm really curious what you think about this kind of animations and what you think about this kind of live coding stuff. And I'm also wondering which countries are you from, if you're not from Russia or Ukraine, of course. Would be nice to know where you're from coming, guys. But that's it for today. I hope you enjoy your summer, and I hope you enjoyed my little live coding and bear with my English. I'll try to become better English speaker sooner or later. That's it for today, guys. Somebody has a question or feedback, I'd be glad. I'll spend 1 more minute being online. Otherwise, see you on the next stream, which I guess I will announce in the Twitter somewhere. There will be no stream tomorrow, if somebody's hoping. Oh, from Croatia. Your nickname is not really Croatian. Doesn't sound like a Croatian thing. I might actually go to Croatia in 2 weeks. If anybody is from Helsinki or Norway, I will be there soon, so we might get a beer or something. Nice to meet you, Marco. So I'm gonna stay in chat for a while and I'm gonna finish this video because nothing really happening on the video. If you have any questions, just ask me in chat. Otherwise, have a nice day, everybody.